Dear learners, welcome back. I am Dr. Mitesh Jadhav and I am your instructor for the Excel Power Tool series. In the last session, I have taught you about the introduction to Power Query, where we have learned about what the Power Query is, what the ETL engine is, and how to automate your workflow. In today's sessions, we are going practical. In today's sessions, we are going to learn how to ingest the data from Excel worksheets. So suppose if we are having a data in Excel table format or in a range, then how we can create a query for that particular data. Now regarding the data, link is given in my description below. Please kindly download with the drive link which I have already given to you. You can find it in the description below. And let's start with the practical. Once you open this drive folder, just download the folder which is uploaded, and you'll be able to see something known as EPT Unit 1. In EPT Unit 1, you will have different files which we are going to use for our learning. Let's start with the first part, Introduction to Power Query, the file number EPT 101. Just double click to open the file in Microsoft Excel. Just click on enable editing if it is asked for. Now, let me just introduce this data first. In this workbook file, you have been given one worksheet called training courses. In that, some data is given in this format. So first of all, we need to analyze the data and just check out whether the data is in structured manner or not. The definition of structured data follows something like this. The data must be in table format. So it must be in the tabular data, means it should be in the forms of rows and columns. Then each header should be a unique one, and each header must have its own respective record into it. There must not be any missing value, and there must not be any outlier if we have any numeric data. Now, if we can see in this data, the data is given something like this, where the data is captured such as the course code and description, and below that the records are there. So if you see, there are two variables, two headers which are combined in the single column. One is course code and the second one is description. The second column is category and the third column is length. So here we need to first of all identify what kind of the manipulation or treatment we have to give to this data. Now, since this data is not in a table format, first either we need to convert into the table format and then we have to load it into the Power Query, or what we can do is we can directly import this range. So if you see the data is from A3 to C46. So that is our data range, right? So either we can give the range or we can create a table and then we can import it into the Power Query. So let's first understand what is the table format. Before that, always we should select the data first and then we should insert the table. So let's select the data. Let's go to cell A3. Then we have to press the shortcut key Control plus Shift plus right arrow key to go to the right side, and Control plus Shift plus down arrow key to select the entire range. So if you see, the data will be highlighted, right? The meaning of this is the data is selected. Now, once you select the data, you have to go to Insert tab on the ribbon part. In the Insert tab, in the table group, you will see something known as table. Control plus T is a shortcut key to create a table. Just click on table. You will be asked to select the range. The range will be automatically selected if you have already selected the data. So if you see, our selection starts from A3 cell and it goes up till C46. Here we need to cross verify whether the data selected is correct or wrong. And if you see over here, it will ask you also $A, $3, that's absolute reference starting from E3, colon $C, $46. That is the last cell where the data ends on the right bottom. So generally the data follows this sequence from left top corner to bottom right corner. And we have to make sure that the selection is in such a way that first row must contain header, because here you will be asked whether your table is header or not. So we have to do this tick mark. Always we need to select the data in such a way that first row must contain header, and here the tick mark is there, and click on OK. So we'll see a blue table style medium 2, that's a by default theme which will be applied. So we'll see a header will be applied which is of different color, and there are banded rows which are applied. You will see a table design tab will be open. This states that this data is in tabular format. You will see properties tab. The first thing is to give a table a sensible name. By default, the name will be table 1, table 2, table 3. Here we are going to give a sensible name. Since this is a course list, I am going to give this name course underscore list. Always make sure that you do not put any blank space while giving the table name. So make sure you put underscore and then you write it down. Course underscore list. So this is the name of table that I have given. Now since I have converted my data into a tabular format, now I can easily load my this table into the query. Now let's understand how to load this data into query editor. First of all, just be inside this table and go to data tab. Then you in the get and transform data, you have to select get data button. In that you have to go from other sources, and in that you will see the first option called from table or range. So here the both options are there. If you have converted data into table format, then it will take table, or if you have not converted into the table format, then it will take range. But while taking range also, first it will ask you to convert into the table. So always have a best practice to convert any data into table format and then only load into this table or range. So let's select this from table or range. The moment you click it, this entire data will be loaded into Power Query Editor window. Now, this is your Power Query Editor window. On the left hand pane, all the queries that are generated will be listed on the left hand side. Here you will see your data preview, and on the right hand side you will see something known as query settings, where all the changes that you make are recorded in terms of steps. Remember, Power Query uses M as a programming language. So all steps which are applied over here, they are consisting of M code. So if you see the first code here, it is written is table dot transform column type. So this is a part of an M code. So here the language that is used is M language. Now here we are going to do the transformation. So if you see this is the pane where you can list the name of query. Now if you remember, we have already given a table name called course list. So that whatever name that you give to the table, it will come as a query name into the Power Query property setting. Right now, let's do the transformation over here. First of all, we need to check out whether the headers are applied as a headings or not. So here, if you see course code and description, category and length, these are headers. And if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, these are known as your record. Now here, if you see, there is some data that we need to transform. Now, if you see course code and description, they are two different headers, but they are currently residing into the same column. So we have to basically split this data. So let's split this data. Just select this column, course code and description. And if you go onto the transform section, you will see something known as split column. Now in split column also, you have different options which you can use it. First is by delimiter. In by delimiter, you have to give a parameter. Delimiter means separator, how two datas are getting separated. So if you select by delimiter, you will see there are three different options which are there. First of all, what is the separator that is being used? So by default, automatically based on the data, it will select it. So if you see, my data is separated by single space. So if you see, these are separated: colon, comma, equal sign, semicolon, space, and tab. Correct? My separators are space. Then we'll be asked to for different options. The first one is leftmost delimiter. So if I select leftmost delimiter in my data set, wherever my first delimiter appears, it is going to split the data. The second option is rightmost delimiter. In my data set, from the right hand side most, whatever delimiter first comes, it will split the data based on that thing. And if I select each occurrence, then at each space, it is going to split the data and create a new column. So if you see, the most appropriate option as per our data is the leftmost delimiter. If we click on leftmost delimiter and then click on OK, you will see the data will be splitted as per our requirement. Now if you see, the heading will be splitted into course code and description 1, course and description dot 2, right? First of all, let's rename the header part. Either you can double click on it, or what you can do is right click on it, and at the bottom you will find an option called rename. Okay, let's rename this header. I am going to give this header name course code. Why? Because these are identification of a course name. Since it's an identification in number data, you have a possibility that the data type is text. If you see, the data types are listed over here 1, 2, 3. If you click on this 1, 2, 3, you will get a contextual menu where you can select the data type. Alternatively, what you can do is select the column, go to Home tab, and on the top also you will find data type over here. These both options are same. This is a contextual menu which will be very handy for you to select the appropriate data type. Now, since I am having a course code which is a numbered data, but we are not going to perform any arithmetic operation or aggregation on this data. Hence, the data type of this data should be text. And the moment you select the text data, the alignment of the number data will be on the left hand side. Remember, by default arrangement is such that if you have data type text, it will be on the left hand alignment, and if you have a number, it is on right hand alignment. In number, we have a possibility that it may have a text data type, but in text data, you only have text data type. So please remember this thing. Now let's come to second column, that is course code and description 2. Here the description of the courses are given. So let's rename the header by double clicking on it, and let's rename it to course description and press enter. You will see whatever changes that you are applying it, they are applied as a step. In Power Query, everything is in terms of step. So here there is no option of undoing anything. Here you have to delete the step, suppose if you have done any mistake. Please remember this thing. Now let's go to category. Category, here if you see there is a null value. Now Power Query treats blank cell as a null value. Here we are keeping as it is. Then let's come to length. Length are given in terms of text data. So it is written 1 day, 2 day, which is a part of text data. Whenever you have a data type, data which is numbered with text, the data type will by default be the text data. Now let's say for example, we have done the transformation which we required it. Now, so this transformation part is done. First of all, we have extracted the data. Now this is part called as a transformation. And the third part is known as loading. Now how we do loading? Let's go to home. Now here there is an option called close and load. At the bottom you will see a drop down, and you will see two options, close and load and close and load 2. Now since we are loading query for the first time, we are going for close and load 2. just select close and load to. The moment you select close and load to, you will be asked what kind of option you want it. So generally four options are given. The first one is a table format. So in a structured format, you want as a table data. The second is pivot table report. If we want it directly in the pivot table report, then we have to choose this option. Suppose if you don't want to load the data, but we want the pivot charts, then you have to select the pivot chart. And suppose if you don't want to load any data and only create connection, then we have to select create connections. As of now, I want to load this data, so I'll select table. The second is where do you want to put this data? So do you want to put in this existing worksheet or you want a new worksheet? Since I already have my original data in this existing worksheet, I'll always go for new worksheet. So in this tab, just select table and new worksheet and then click on OK. So what will happen? The data will be extracted from this sheet, this data training courses, and you will see a new sheet sheet will be created called course list. If you see, course code is there in one header, course description is there in this another header, then the third column is category and the fourth one is length of the day. Now this is my original data where it is just into the table format, and if you see, queries is listed in the lavender color. By default is lavender, table style medium 7. How do we get to know that this is query? So we'll see a query tab will be open over here. So the moment you be inside the query, you will see query tab will be shown to you. This means this is a query. If you go into the original data, you won't see any query tab which is listed over here. Suppose if you want to see how many queries are there, you go to data and you will have option of queries and connections. If you see, this is a tab which is showing queries and connections. So suppose if it is this table is hide, you can just press this queries and connection tab. Now, say for example, this is a query. Query is something known as a pipeline. Whatever changes will be there in this original data will be reflected over here. We don't need to repeat all the steps that we have done it again. Let's say for example, I am doing some changes over here. I'm get to know that Microsoft OneNote is a product of Microsoft. So the category is Microsoft. So I am putting one value over here. Now if I go to query, you will see the data is not updated over here. Remember, queries are not automatically updated. They have to be manually refreshed. Now how do you refresh the query? So just go to this query tab and you will see something known as refresh, and then you can go to this, click on refresh button. So what will happen? The data, the query will go to this original data. It will repeat all the step that has been done and it will load the data into editor over here. So you'll see this is a fresh query which is loaded. So whatever changes is being done into this data, all the changes will be reflected over here once you refresh it. You can do refresh by two things. Either you can go to query and then click on refresh button and then select refresh, or what you can do is right click over the query and you will see the contextual menu and you can select the refresh over here. So the moment you click on refresh, you will see entire data will be extracted, it will be transformed and load as a query into your worksheet. So this is creating a query from table or range. I hope this functionality will make you understand the basic of getting the data from worksheet. So either you can extract the data from table or range. In the next video, we are going to extract the data from another workbook file. If you like this video or if you want more such of videos to be made on this topic, then please like the video, comment below, share this video to your fellow mates, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you get updates on the moment I upload the video. Thank you all, and I will see you in the next video.